Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is a special one. It's one I've been writing about this morning, and it seems to be coming up time and time again with the people that I am speaking with and really helping and supporting in some coaching. So I definitely feel called to bring this message to you. And it's all about the culprit of overthinking, anxiety and procrastination, and the one practice that will rid you of all three. And I thought what I'd firstly start off with before I dive into this amazing topic that I absolutely love right now, I really wanted to start off with a little bit of story about how I came to sort of, be here right now and having this conversation with you about this particular topic. So a few years ago, I found myself in this position in my life where I was just completely confused. I didn't know what direction to take. I felt like I had completely lost who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I was really in this state of transition and I didn't know what direction to take. And I found myself at my local library just sort of scouring the shelves of the self-help, section. And this book stuck out to me. And the book just, I don't know, everything was kind of looking bland. When you're in that state of confusion, you don't know where you are in your life, and everything just, is kind of mundane. And that's kind of what all the shelves kind of looked like. I was like, but this one book kind of stood out to me. And I picked it up, and it was a book called May Cause Miracles by Gabrielle Bernstein. And I don't know, there was just something about it I just really gravitated towards, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna get this. I could do with a miracle right now because I'm so confused and I don't know what to do right now. And so I checked the book out, and I'm so grateful that I did, because the next 6 weeks for me were phenomenal. So the book that I actually picked up, the May Cause Miracles book, it was actually a 6-week course in a book. So for 42 days, I sat down with this book, and it was really simple. It was really small things to do each day, a little exercise, a meditation, and it was just sort of the opposite to how I'd been living my life. My life had been crazy, on the go, never stopping, always striving, and then this book sort of just made me slow down for a minute, stop, check in with myself each day, meditate, and just the opposite of what I was used to and the energy that I was in my life. And it was so transformative, and that's why I wanted to bring this message to you guys today, because it taught me the practice of surrender. And this is what I'm finding come up time and time again for so many individuals out there, that we have best intentions, we're striving, we're trying to achieve, we're trying to, move forward and progress in our lives. And it almost seems completely, counterintuitive to just surrender and let go of the control. And that's why it's so powerful. And that's why I'm hoping that this message reaches you at a time where it is really going to support you and get you thinking. Because, for me at that point in my life, I had all three of what I'm talking into today. They're forms of control: the overthinking, overanalyzing, the anxiety, that fear, and the procrastination, feeling like you're just never moving forward on the things that you say you want to do. And so those three forms of control, as I like to look at them, the only way out of them that I've come across at this stage, or at least it's one of the best ways to overcome them, is to literally surrender. And let's talk into that. So, surrender is ultimately the opposite of control. So our ego is always looking to control. It's always looking to be most significant, like the world revolves around it. So it's looking to control. It thinks everything is because of what it does, what the action it takes. And ultimately, the power of surrender is actually tapping into this deeper knowing and tapping into, a higher intelligence, you know, and that's what this book really woke me up to. So I wanted to quickly run through each three of those forms of control, and then talk a little bit more into this idea of surrender and how we can engage it and make it actionable in our lives. And so overthinking, I just wanted to clarify, you know, I believe that overthinking is really just a sign that we are undervaluing our intuition and we are overvaluing our fears, or our ego, if you want to put it that way. So what happens is, every time we get stuck in this overthinking, if you really think back to those moments in your life where you were completely overwhelmed and overthinking everything, and if you really are honest with yourself and you really reflect, I bet you can pinpoint the fact that you knew the right answer. Deep down in your intuition, you had a gut feeling, you knew the right answer, you had the answers within you, but you insisted in this overthinking. You let the ego take hold. And why we do that is because, like I said, we're undervaluing our intuition and our inner knowing, our inner wisdom. We're not trusting in ourselves, and we're overvaluing the ego, trying to be in control and trying to work it out, and thinks the world revolves around it and it has all the answers. Hang on a sec, I've just got somebody calling me. I didn't turn my notifications off. Hope that didn't, sorry guys, I'm going to take 2 seconds to just turn my notifications off. There we go. All right, so, and so that's what overthinking, that's where it comes from. It's the undervaluing your intuition. You've always got the answers within you. You've got to start building that trust within yourself so you can tap into that. And then it's overvaluing the ego or your fears. So that's how we get trapped in that overthinking, that form of control. And the second form of control is that anxiety. So anxiety is when we are not trusting in our ability to figure things out or handle whatever comes our way. We're coming from that fearful, egoic place, and we are not trusting in our own internal strength. And that's why we get anxious, because anxiety is all future focused. It's like, it's so fearful of what could happen. And we got so trapped in that. It's again, as weird as it sounds, it's a form of control. You know, it's our ego trying to control and trying to, you know, cut out that intuitive feeling and that inner strength that we have. And it is distrusting of ourselves and projecting the worst. So that's the other form of control. And then finally, procrastination. You know, we fall into procrastination when we are living a life of shoulds, you know, and we are not living in alignment with the truth of who we are. We're living out of alignment of our values. We're trying to be somebody we're not, or do the things we think we should do based on whatever, you know, societal beliefs, our projections on ourselves and expectations, external expectations, whatever it is. But that is actually what puts us into that state of procrastination. Again, we're trying to control who we are and how we're showing up, and not just living in alignment. So they're the three forms of control. That the practice of surrender is your ticket out of these forms of control. The practice of surrender is your ticket to freedom, out of this egoic control. And I'm talking to so many of you, like I said, that are just like, whoa, okay, surrender, like, okay. And that is exactly where I was at that point when I opened up that book, May Cause Miracles by Gabrielle Bernstein. And some of you guys might have read it. I'd love to hear from you if you have had an experience with that book. I'm always pushing people towards that book, because I personally have just had a great experience with it. And I know so many of you will also gravitate towards that, because surrender is so powerful. It is sometimes in the actions of doing nothing that we are projected into the next level of our highest potential, and we are totally empowered instead of being disempowered by our attempts at control. And it's just reminded me, actually, just last week I was having a conversation with my beautiful granny, and we were talking about conflict and how, you know, there's conflict in families, and anyway, she was saying that my granddad, who passed away a couple of years ago now, you know, she got all caught up in, you know, trying to control this situation, trying to control this conflict that was going on in our family. And she said, you know, what do I do? What do I do to my granddad? And my granddad said, oh so wisely, do nothing. Just do nothing. And she just was so, you know, that's how she lives now, and she, you know, so attributes so much of the success in you know, moving through conflict in our family from those wise words from my granddad, to just do nothing. And it is such a great example, just popped into my head then, you know, as to how surrender can allow us to move forward from an empowered place. It creates space between our ego and our internal wisdom, so that we actually have a choice as to which one we'll move forward with. So guys, I'm really hoping that today's message is resonating with you. And one other thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that in that moment when I found the power in surrender, which was to just let go, it was actually literally to just sit at my desk at those times when I was going through this book, close my eyes, take 10 really deep breaths, and just connect to something larger at play, you know, whatever it is. You know, to me, you know, that's where I was sort of introduced to the concept of, you know, the universe, you know, just something more intelligent at play in this world that is guiding us if we just let it, if we just surrender our ego and we tap into that inner guide, as Gabrielle Bernstein would call it, and we just trust, you know, we put it out there, we ask for that guidance, and then we open our minds up to find the answers, to allow the universe to present us with some extra guidance so that we can tap into and start trusting in that inner guide, that inner intelligence, and get out of our own way with the ego and attempting to control everything. So what I actually generated is a really empowering belief at that point, which is that everything is happening for a reason and a purpose that serves me, and it's my job to figure that out. It's not, you know, it is so against my progress to get trapped in a victim mentality that, you know, everything's happening to me, and instead shift it to everything is happening for a reason and purpose that serves me. I just need to find the lesson. I need to find, you know, that the lessons that are being presented to me, because they are my stepping stones to getting out of this confusion, relinquishing the control, and getting into a state of true empowerment. So really hope that today's message is helpful to each and every one of you guys out there. I hope it's got you thinking about, you know, where in your life is control taking over your life and your results. It's preventing you from reaching higher levels of your limitless potential, and ultimately you need to start this practice of surrender. I highly recommend Gabrielle Bernstein's book, May Cause Miracles, if this is something that you know you've got to sort of start building your awareness around. I'm actually reading another one of her books at the moment. I know it'll be backwards, but her book, The Universe Has Your Back. Yeah, and I'm just tapping into that now, and I love her wise words. She's a phenomenal woman out there who is doing phenomenal things in this world that I'm so grateful for. So I hope that you guys have tapped into some of Gabrielle Bernstein's work. She's just beautiful, and I really want to tap into see what you guys are up to in the chat room today and see who's been able to join me. I love it. Kathy's here, and Stephen and Adrian and Chris. Thanks. Glad you like it. And Judy's here, and Nick and Phil and Ram and Elliot and Rosa. Thank you so much. Makeup tips. I love it. Well, I just do the same makeup each and every day, so I don't know how many good tips I'd have, but I love it. Rosa, thanks for your compliments there. And Jeremy, I love it. And Kathy, it's so great to see you. Miss seeing you here. And Stephen, thank you so much. And Elf's here, and Melissa, and Hassani, did I get it right? Let me know. Hassani, oh my gosh, I'm still practicing. Elizabeth, hello, thank you. You're watching from Kenya. I love it. I love hearing about where you guys are in the world. Lights me up. I love that we're all connected around the globe. I'm here in Australia, and yeah, I love it. And Charlie, thank you so much for being here, and Hassan, and Fan. Hi Vanessa, thank you for sharing your wisdom. You're so welcome. Sometimes when we are going through a tough transition, it's hard to talk to people about our stress. So often I turn on your videos and listen to them. Thank you for making these videos. I'm so grateful. Fan, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm truly grateful that these messages are adding value to you. That inspires me like nothing on earth. It absolutely does. So it touched my heart, and you're so right that when we are in a tough transition, oftentimes what we do as human beings is the opposite to what we really need and what will really support us. And we tend to pull away from people. We tend to isolate ourselves instead of reaching out and connecting to somebody who we trust, who will show us empathy and understanding. And that is, that is ultimately how we shine light on those fears that are keeping us isolated, and ultimately move through them and find the answers throughout those transitions that we're always going through. There's always a new transition in life that's going to challenge us, and we have to have that power of tap into that practice and the power of surrender and trust it's in something larger at play that is guiding us, so that we can have that empowering belief that everything in life is happening for a reason and a purpose that serves us. It's our job to find the reason and the lesson and move forward and progress. So thank you so much for sharing here, Fan. Appreciate you so much. And it's people like you that I'd love to have come and join us in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle community, where we're all supporting one another, like you're saying, went throughout those transitions, throughout the struggle and the triumphs, getting that challenge, that support, that encouragement, that connection that we all need in order to progress and grow, and definitely surrender. So I hope you'll join us in there. The group's been growing. We haven't even been operating for a week at this stage, and we've already got like 500 people, amazing people, mind you, in that group. So it's super exciting and inspiring, and I'd love to have each and every one of you a part of it. So make sure you click on the link and request to join. I'll accept you, and I can't wait to go deeper with you guys in there. And Chris, thank you for being here. And Adrian, looking forward to reading this book. Awesome. Yes, get into it. I'd love to hear how you find it. And Nato, thank you for being here. And Brittany and Hassan and Angela and Nizar and Ram, grateful that you're loving this topic. And Tess and Zach and Lewis and Clarence, thanks so much for being here, guys. And awesome, Zach. I'm loving that you're getting out of that overthinking, get some surrender action going on. And Elf, Vanessa, you're shining today. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words there. And totally in alignment. Surrendering allows one to find themselves on the path of least resistance to the universe. Absolutely. And I love having you, as always, Elf, share your words of wisdom. I always feel in such alignment to what you say. So thank you so much. Totally resonated with me. And Ross and Dustin and Mark and Ram, overthinking is simply the highest form of self-deceptive excuse. Yeah, in which we end up living in a false world. I love how you put it. You're a rock star, Ram. I absolutely love you showing up each and every day and sharing your little words of wisdom here as well. They always get me thinking, so I so appreciate them. And yeah, I agree. I absolutely. And that overthinking, it's just so energy draining. Anything that drains your energy is not leading you in the right direction. Learn to tap into how you energetically feel. When you feel energized by things, move in that direction. When you're really drained of energy, stop, check in, surrender, find the answer and know that you're not on the right path. It's a mess. I like to believe that's a message from the universe, and the universe will give us more energy towards the things that we are meant to be moving in the direction of, and it'll take away energy and make life harder when we're moving in the wrong direction. It's really worked out in my life for having that mindset and knowing that, believing in that. So I hope that it resonates with some of you guys out there. And Anthony, thanks for being here. And Lisa's here. And Tony, love what you're saying. Got to listen to this topic over again. Awesome. I hope that it sinks in and it resonates with you. And Ram, when we surrender, we welcome the universe to do its part in our lives. Absolutely. And we stop blocking its intelligence. Absolutely, Ram. I love it. And Bruce is here. And Gael from France. Awesome. Thank you so much for this. This is exactly what I'm going through right now and what I needed to hear. Awesome. And you have an amazing day too. I'm so grateful that this message has reached you at a time that is best supportive to you. I love that. And awesome. Thanks for sharing. And Kelly's here. And Hassani. In regards to procrastination, I think there's not only the shoulds, but also the have tos. Yes. Sometimes I think we can find ourselves doing things that we temporarily have to do, but are not really in alignment with our values. Absolutely. And look, you know, we are living life, right? And there are going to be some things in our lives that we don't really want to do, but you know, they're beneficial for us moving forward. And in those terms, I say we just have to bring a different flavor, a better flavor to what we have to do. Instead of terming it have to do, what about we transform that to get to? What if our have tos become our get tos? And if we work out why this thing that we're having to do is going to help and support us moving forward, we can transform the flavor of it to a get to and move forward. It's not just about, oh, that's not true to who I am, so I'm not going to ever do that thing or that thing, and I don't have to do that, and I don't have to clean the dishes because I hate cleaning the dishes. Whatever it is, you know. But it's actually just, you know, just recognizing and being able to use this as a tool to check in with yourself and question, build self-awareness around procrastination. You know, why am I procrastinating over this? Is it because I just need to bring a better flavor and I just have to get the job done? Or is it that I'm really operating from a place that is not healthy, that is, you know, that is reinforcing a belief to myself that I'm not good enough as who I am and that I need to be somebody else, I need to do something else. I'm trying to gain some validation, approval, acceptance in the external world, and ultimately I need to generate that from within myself by living in alignment with my values. You know, it's about questioning what's going on for ourselves, building that self-awareness, and ultimately making a decision, an empowered decision that will move us in the direction of where we actually want to go to, rather than staying stuck in that fear and that control. So I love what you're sharing there, Hassani, and thank you so much for being here. And Ram, with surrender, universal wisdom taps our inner wisdom, and both when work together in our favor. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, surrender is kind of like that pathway to tapping into the universe's intelligence. When we get out of the ego and we tap into that inner wisdom connected to the universe through surrender, that is where all of our answers lie. And yeah, that's where we get out of confusion and we get clarity. So I love that, Ram. James is here. Thanks for being here. And George, this is great. Trust yourself to do great things and forgive yourself for your mistakes. Absolutely. And when you have that belief that everything is happening for a reason and a purpose that serves us, and it's our job to find that reason and find that lesson, then that's how we can, yeah, definitely be forgiving of mistakes and recognize that there are no mistakes. Everything has been happening for a reason that has got you to this point, and without those mistakes, you might not have the learning there. So, you know, everything is growing us and developing us if we just get out of our own way and surrender to the universe's intelligence. Love it, George. And Craig, thanks for being here. And Chris, I agree, having a benevolent outlook is huge in life. Absolutely, Chris, I love having you here. And Martin, thank you for your positive outlook. You're so welcome, Martin. I love having you here too. And Elaine's here, and Scott, and Tony, and Wyan, And yes, evening, y'all. Elaine, I love it. And Kudzanai, I'm loving that you're loving it. And Elizabeth is here, and Leica, and Kudzanai, sorry. Shocking with names, sorry guys. From the UK, I love it. And Edita, oh my gosh, from Poland. Wow, I love it. And yes, Hassani, I love that I'm getting your name right. Keep teaching me. I might forget. I might fall back into old patterns. And Saifan from California, I love it. And Erdal from Turkey, awesome. And Chris from Florida, I love it. James, thanks for the compliment. And Dana, awesome to have you. And Hassani, I'm wearing your favorite color today. Hassani, did I call you Hassani? Sorry, Hassani. And George, I'm seeing the world a bit better than what I was. You'd be surprised how well things turn out once you decide to take control of your life. Serve and enjoy life. It has many joys waiting for you. Absolutely. And we can tap into that joy by surrendering to the universe like we're talking about in today's topic. I love that, George. Thank you so much for sharing. Michael's here, and Kudzanai, just click on the link that I've put there for the Limitless Potential Inner Circle community. Just click on the link under the heading of this live video and request to join. I'll approve you. You'll be in the group. It'll be amazing. And Lisa's here. Hello, Vanessa. Yes, sometimes doing nothing moves us toward a peaceful resolution. I feel better when I take a time out. Last night, I left my work folders everywhere to go to a baseball game with my friends. Didn't take no for an answer. I feel when we release and have fun, we can actually have better focus later. Absolutely. It creates that space between the ego and the inner guide, you know, and that is the space that provides us with clarity and direction in the right direction. So I love that, Lisa, and I hope you had an amazing night with your friends. Thank you so much, Dorothy. I love having you here. You're welcome, Ram and Mark. Looking forward to sharing and growing. Awesome, Mark. Me too. And Safon, first time too upset from you. I'm sorry. There's somebody commenting, and your name is Islam. Okay, that's why I don't say hello to you, because I can't read your name. So sending you so much love and gratitude, Islam. Thank you for being here. And Saifan, thanks for being here. And Dana, I overthink way too much. Don't we all? Absolutely. And Davis, just sent a request to join. Awesome. I'll definitely approve that once I jump off this live with you guys. And Hassani, so good. I need to be more mindful of the things that drain my energy and the things that give me energy. Absolutely. That is probably the biggest lesson I've been really working on this year, is tapping into my body's intelligence and picking up on how where's my energy? You know, is it drained? Is it uplifted? What's going on? So much value in that. So I love that you're going to tap into that as well, Hassani. And Toby, oh well, just realized you're alive. Yes, caught you late, so we'll have to catch the whole episode later. Thank you so much, and I hope you gain tons of value from today's message, Toby. I appreciate you so much for joining me and definitely watching. So thank you for being here. Mirateshi's here, and Geet, and Hassani. Get to works too, yes, because there are positives in it too that I could eventually benefit from. Thank you. Awesome for that mindset shift. Awesome. I love that has been helpful. And Geet, thank you so much. And Martin, look forward to being a part of the Limitless Potential Inner Circle community. I can't wait to have you in there, Martin. And Bradley, awesome to have you. And awesome, Kudzanai, can't wait to have you in there as well. And yes, good morning to you, Geet, and Benedict from Brazil. Ben from Brazil, I love it. And Joy and Geet from Dubai. And Ram, it's early morning, 4:45 a.m. in Mumbai, India. It's simply very great to begin the day with this interaction of yours, so positive. Bestest breakfast for the mind and soul. Oh, thank you so much, Ram. You touched my heart. I absolutely love that. And I love that you guys are tuning in, no matter what time it is, where wherever you are in the world. Lights me up, and I'm so grateful that you're finding value here. Thank you, Ran and Richard, upstate New York. I love New York. I went for the first time in May last year. It's one of my favorite places on the planet, so I can't wait to get back there. And Bobby, thanks for being here, and Colin, you're welcome. And Mikayaki from Japan, I love having you here. And Eric and William and Ning and Joel, awesome. And Ning from Thailand, awesome, guys. It is so amazing having your interaction. And Patricia from Chicago, I love it. I love Chicago as well. I haven't been there since I was 12, but I'll look forward to getting back there one day. And Eddie from Miami. Awesome, guys. I'm super excited to have all of you engaging today, and for your interaction, your questions, your words of wisdom that you share with each and every one of us. I would love to have every single one of you join us in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle community. Make sure you click on the link, join us. We can't wait to have you in there. Let's, support, encourage, and challenge each other to reach higher and higher levels of our limitless potential. The guys in there are already stepping up, doing amazing things, getting outside of their comfort zones, challenging themselves to the next level, and it's super inspiring to see. And I'd love to, nothing more than to have each and every one of you guys in there as well. And Toby, you're so welcome. How much time do you spend on yourself each day to feel the best self each day? Awesome question, Toby. And this is something that I've actually, because I'm quite extroverted and, always grew up really wanting to be around people all the time, 24/7. And through my own personal development, I've learned to tap into more of my introverted side. And that's a big piece of the work that I do in terms of personality psychology, because we all have a process that is either introverted or extroverted that we drive in. It's like 80% of our life is lived in this particular process. And when we develop and grow ourselves, there's a corresponding process that is the opposite. So if you're extroverted, it'll be more introverted. And when we develop this, we become more whole. And that's actually allowed me to spend a lot more time on myself, working on myself. And what I do in terms of working on myself has definitely shifted over time. I used to do a lot of journaling. I always do a meditation each and every day. I think I'm up to a day 187 or something straight of meditation. So I'm feeling proud of myself for that. It's the most consistent I've ever been in my meditation practice. But what I actually do personally for myself right now, in terms of feeling good within myself, I wake up, I meditate, I drink lemon water, I have lots of water in the morning and energize my body, and I also just get writing. Everything that I talk to you guys about comes from me just tapping into that time to myself, and I just do a little writing on the computer, and it ends up being a post that I put out to you guys, or a message that I create on video for you guys, or whatever. And that's how I feel best within myself. But we need to definitely play around with different things. I've done so many different little practices to work out what feels right for me, and we do evolve and change. And so I encourage you to just find whatever works best for you to light yourself up. But meditation is an absolute must for me. I know on those days where I've felt too busy and I haven't done my meditation first thing in the morning, and I've left it to the end of the day, I've just been stuck in those forms of control and lack of surrender. Meditation is a great practice to surrender, particularly in the times when you feel like you just don't have time for it. That's when you need it most. So thank you for your question, Toby. I hope that was valuable to you, and I'd love to hear from you guys about what works for you in checking in with yourself so you can, spend that time with you. I think you asked me how much time. I don't know, my day is filled up with moments that I spend to fill myself up and get into a great state. So I used to spend like an hour or so in the morning. Now it's just little moments throughout the day. I check in and build that self-awareness. So I hope that's valuable to you, Toby. Thanks for the question. Jenny's here from San Diego. I love it. And Bojan. And any words of wisdom for an introvert? Jenny, yes. Most definitely. And I'm going to be creating a webinar for you guys, which I'm super excited. I know I've been talking about it for probably a month now, or if not more, but I'm going to be developing a webinar training for you guys, which is going to dive into how we can best grow ourselves as individuals with the framework of personality psychology. And I'll be given lots of valuable content for all the introverts out there, for all the extroverts out there, but a quick word of wisdom for you there, Jenny. Is to definitely identify the parts, the things that make you kind of uncomfortable in terms of being more extroverted. So being more extroverted, like engaging with the external world. But what I would say to you, Jenny, is that it would be ideal for you to identify how your brain is wired, and that's what I'm going to be explaining a lot to you guys in this upcoming webinar, and that is going to give you the particular mode of extroverted behavior that will actually give you the biggest bang for your buck in terms of personal development. So I can't wait to share that with you, Jenny, and I hope that I hope you can join me for that. And definitely find ways of developing your more extroverted side of yourself, because that will allow for you to be a more rounded out individual. And the webinar will give you more specifics for you as a natural individual, what type of extroverted behaviors will best be suited for you. So I hope that was valuable. And Naomi's here, and Deepak from Japan. How to take any decision we have, don't get any support from family and friends. Yeah, so you just have to build that trust within yourself. And the way you do that is by surrendering to the universe and trusting, tapping into that internal wisdom and start moving with it. Start listening to it. Start making the voice on the internal louder than the voices on the external. And trust that when you feel in alignment, when it feels right to you, it probably is. And surrender to the guidance of the universe and slow down and tap into that inner voice. Maybe do some meditation on it. But it's a process that I believe is one of the best practices that you can do throughout your life. Keep building it. You know, I'm consistently continuing to build my practice around surrender. You know, I'm not there, you know, but I'm continuing to build that awareness and tapping more fully into it. And I think that's, you know, we're never ever going to just make it, you know, it's a constant work in progress. And that's why I love it, because our happiness comes from our progress and our evolution. So continue just doing the work and tapping into that source, and do the work on surrender. Get Gabrielle Bernstein's book, May Cause Miracles. It worked so well for me, and I know it will for all of you guys out there as well. Hope that was valuable to you, Deepak. Back yourself. Keep doing the work to back yourself. You've got the answers internally. You know, stop making the voices on the external more relevant than your own internal wisdom. Glenn's here, and Chris, I need to start working out again. Awesome. I've been working out a lot. Need to balance. Yeah, sometimes in the slowing down we find the answers and we get on track. So we need that balance, like you're saying there, Chris. I love it. And Caroline and Nancy, thanks for joining. And Toby, cool. You're so kind to give your time and energy. Oh, of course. Could talk to you all day. Been watching your talks for a while. Awesome content. Awesome. Thank you so much, Toby. That's lights me up. I absolutely, you know, I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who join me live, because you give me like this access to doing what I absolutely love to do, which is to learn, grow, and share whatever I can in the hope that it adds value to any of you guys out there. That's why I do what I do. And so when you let me know that it is of value, it's so heartwarming to me. It really touches my heart, and I appreciate it so, so much. And I appreciate you, Toby, so, so much. I'm sure we could talk all day. No doubt about it. I'm pretty good at talking, like you guys probably are already aware of. And thanks so much, Toby. And Laura and Mike, thanks so much, guys, for joining. I'm just about to sign off. I really hope that today's message has resonated with you. I hope it's got you thinking about those forms of control that we tapped into, you know, that overthinking, that anxiety, that procrastination, and knowing that your ticket out of them is building that practice of surrender and trusting in something larger at play, and building that belief that everything is happening for a reason and a purpose that serves you, it's your job to figure out what that reason is, what that lesson is, so you can access higher and higher levels of your limitless potential. And on that note, I really hope that you guys will join us in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle community. We'd love to have you there, so that we can keep growing, keep progressing, and contributing to one another. You guys always hear me talk about the fact that true fulfillment in life comes from growing and giving. Growing and contributing, and that's what everybody in that group is engaging in. They're growing themselves, they're getting outside of their comfort zones, and they're helping, supporting, and contributing to the lives of everybody else in there. That's why I want each and every one of you in there. I want you guys feeling truly fulfilled in your lives, and this is just one little pathway to be able to access that. So I can't wait to see you guys in there, and I am sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. You light up my world, you rock me, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. And thank you so much to everybody who's been able to join me live and engage and interact. It's so energizing to me, so I appreciate you so much. And if you're catching the recording, I hope you get a bunch of value from today's message. Drop any questions, comments, feedback as to how I could be adding more value to you. I'd love to hear from you. I rely on you guys to help me keep my finger on the pulse as to what is valuable to you. So definitely let me know. I really welcome that. And much love to you. I will see you all tomorrow.